Good morning, students. Welcome to online lecture series of human-computer interaction. So last session, we have studied what is a design thinking, why it is important, and 5 different stages of this design thinking. Now, in today's section, we will see finding the things on a web, also augmented reality and virtual reality. So finding the things on web. So in that first we have to study what is a static web content. So in static web content, we'll see what is a message. First point is message and the medium. So on the web document, user want to see the information and to retrieve it, which have an influence on a design. The paper copy of information does not have the same inbuilt hypertext and active capabilities of the web pages. The text. Second point is text. So text information on the web can be presented with different fonts, different font styles, colors, size, in order to make the text more attractive and readable as per the importance of a text in the context. Graphics. So there are number of sites on the web that contains the archive of the graphical images, icons, backgrounds, and so on. So there are also paint and image manipulation packages available on almost all the computer systems and scanners and digital cameras. We are available enable the input of photographs and diagrams. Next, movies and sound. So movies and sound are both available to the user of the web and hence to the page designers. It is made available with the help of different file formats. The next, that is dynamic web content. So in dynamic web content, we'll see the active web, fixed content, search, and dynamic content. So in active hub, this page, this type involves a complex form of interaction on the web. The actual content may be fixed, but the user can change the form of presentation. The web pages can be generated from a database content, and the database information can be updated through the web. Fixed content, there is a local interaction and a changing view. So probably the most overestimated aspect of the web in a recent year has been a Java, right? So in fact, a Java can be used to write a server-end software and the platform. That is server-end software and platform independent standalone programs. Then search. The user keywords are submitted to the server using an HTML form. They are compared against the pre-prepared indexes at the server. Dynamic content. The content of the web pages react to and is updatable by the web user in a dynamic web context. The user interacts through a web browser with web server. Java servlet pages, that is JSP, and Java Enterprise Beans, that JEB, is used for this purpose. There is, you can say, there is use of business logic in the data processing. For example, there is online banking. This Java Enterprise Beans, that is JEB, text data for a cooperative database using JDBC connection. So this is your finding the things on web pages. So here you have to just remember these 2 points: it is static web content and dynamic web content. So in exam question will be like this: write a short note on static web content and a dynamic web content. Okay. So next point is augmented reality. So in augmented reality, what is this augmented reality? Right? So augmented reality or AR is the enhanced version of the real physical world achieved by means of a technology driven visual elements. You can say driven visual elements, sounds, and other sensory stimuli. The trend amongst the mobile computers and business application in a particular is growing with increasing collections and analysis of data. One of the primary purpose of increased reality is to highlight the certain characteristics of the physical world, improve its realization, and gain intelligent and accessible insight that can be applied to real world application. Such large data can inform decision making by enterprise and gain insight into, you can say, gain insight into the inter alia consumption habits. Then things to remember in augmented reality. So in order to enhance one's experience, augmented reality means the overlapping of visual, auditive, or other sensory information in the world. The retailers and other companies can take advantages of augmented realities to promote the products or services, start a new marketing campaigns, and collecting a unique data from the users. Unlike the virtual reality, the augmented truth contributes to the existing world as it is and creates its own cyber environment. Understanding the augmented reality. So here, augmented reality proceed to create and turn out the more unavoidable amongst the wide scope of the users. Since its origination, advertisers and innovations firms have needed to fight the discriminant that increase the truth in minimal in excess of the promoting instrument. Notwithstanding, there is a proof that customers are starting to get substantial advantages from this usefulness and expect it as a feature of their buying cycle. For instance, some early adopters in retail area have created advances that are intended to upgrade the buyer shopping experience by the fusing expanded reality into inventory applications. Stores let buyers pictures how various items would look like in change condition. For furniture, a customer points the camera at fitting room and items show up in frontal areas. Somewhere else, augmented reality advantages could reach out to the medical care area where it's anything but a lot of greater job. One way would be the applications that empower clients to see exceptionally point by point 3D pictures of various body frameworks when they float their cell phone over the objective pictures. For instance, expanded reality could be an amazing learning for clinical experts, although their preparations. A few specialists have since a quite while ago guessed that wearable gadgets could be a leap forward for increased reality, while cell phones and tablets show the minuscule segment of the client sees IBM, and for instance, may give a more complete connections among the genuine and virtual domains in the event that it grows enough to become a standard. So this is your augmented reality. So what is this virtual reality? In virtual reality, for decades, the scientification community has a function as a very powerful human computer interface in the field of a virtual reality. Virtual reality is described in various and inconsistently by numerous publications, TV shows, and conferences. Even in the technical literature, this leads to the confusion. So before defining the virtual reality, we will define what it is not. Some researchers refers to telepresence in a remote environment in which a user is immersed in in a telerobotics that is very helpful, where we try to control the robots at a distance and where it is critical to know what is going on around the robot. Some of the authors refers to virtual reality in terms of its device and not in terms of the function and purpose. The general public tends to associate virtual reality simulation with head-mounted displays, some called goggles, and sensing glows, just because this we are the first device used in simulation. This also a need okay. Therefore, describing the virtual reality in terms of the devices, it is user is also not to adequate the definition. So, what is a virtual reality then? In functional terms, let to first describe it is a simulation that uses the computer graphics to create a world that looks realistic. In addition, the synthetic world is not a static but react to user input. This defines a major feature of virtual reality, interactivity in a real time. In real time, the computer can detect user input and instantly modify the virtual world. So people like to see things change on the screen and impressed by the simulation in a response to their command. So what is the definition, actual definition of this virtual reality? The virtual reality is a high-end user computer interface that involves real-time simulation and interaction through the multiple sensorial channels. These sensorial modalities are visual, auditory, tactile, smell, and taste. So this is your virtual reality. So in exam question will be like this: what is a virtual reality? Explain with an example, or write the difference between augmented reality and a virtual reality. So in the next lecture, we'll see so smart home, designing a smart homes. Okay.